All right, so we're going to work on what is one of your sketchbook assignments, and it's a technique I want you guys to practice on your own and in class. It's called blind contour, and we're going to do comparisons. So what's going to happen is we're going to do the blind contour version first of, a part of an object. I'm still going to work from that same plant, maybe not the same section, but the same plant that I did in the contour video. And then you're going to do a contour version of the same thing. So like most of these assignments, you can time them. I say about like 5 minutes per drawing, if that. I know contour is meant to go slow, so that doesn't mean you want to rush and get the whole thing done. What you get done in 5 minutes is what you get done in 5 minutes. So for the blind contour, you're going to set your page up to where you can't see it, right? So I have this sheet of newsprint on top of my drawing pad. This is just a sketchbook that I have. You guys are fine to work on newsprint for this assignment. But blind contour, you don't want to look at your page at all, right? So a regular contour, you can always check your page for reference, erase a little bit if you need to. Blind contour, you're just going to hope that whatever you're seeing is translating to your hand and doing exactly what you want it to. So what I don't want anyone to do is feel bad if their blind contour drawing, especially the first couple, look like absolutely nothing recognizable that you're trying to draw, right? So I'm going to work on a different section of my leaf drawing, but what you can do is you can flip your page up, place your pencil, and then kind of hide your mask, right? Some people are really good at just like not looking, but I like to have the little extra sheet because I don't trust myself. Now, if you run off the page, right, and then you're drawing in like no man's land, drawing nothing, you can kind of reset and then place your pencil again. But I don't want you to kind of do this and constantly check when you're doing your blind contour, because it's not the point of the exercise. So remember, with contour drawings, your pencil is only moving as fast as your eye, right? So I'm just gonna place my pencil. I'm gonna start working. Now I'm not looking. I know in this video it's kind of like, oh, but she can totally be looking at her paper. I promise you I'm not, right? You're just gonna have to go on some blind faith here. But remember, you're trying to, really train your brain to kind of see. And what you're really doing in this exercise is not about being perfect by any means. And there are plenty of artists that really practice this technique and get quite good at it. But it's about that relationship between your eye, what you're seeing, and how your hand is like recording it, right? So it's one of those things, the more that you practice this technique, one, it's going to let you open up about your drawing. And it's going to, make you maybe a little bit more confident. It doesn't have to look 100% like the thing to practice good drawing. We all have to just go through some bad drawings and just mistakes. But it's going to just help you, in the long run, just kind of translate what your eye is seeing, what you're actually seeing, to what, when you do get the chance to see, like what you're actually trying to draw, right? So the whole point is really to like train your brain to slow down, train your hand to slow down, and not try to get everything down so quickly, right? Because, drawing is all about the art of looking. You have to be able to look and understand what you're seeing to be, a decent drawer, right? So I've already kind of lost my place a little bit. I'm only gonna do 4 leaves. I see like 6. But for the sake of this video demo not being 20 minutes long, I'm gonna hope for the best here. And I'm going just a little bit faster than what I'd like for you guys to do, because, I'm doing this demo video. I don't want to take up a ton of time, but you guys can see that my hand's not really moving like this underneath this page. It's really going slow. I promise you that, because if you go too fast, you're going to lose your spacing, and whatever you're trying to draw is going to look nothing, 100% nothing like what you want. So I'm going to go ahead and stop. I'm going to flip this over. Ooh, it's so pretty, right? So there's leaf shapes. I'd like to, like this, that's a leaf shape. Doesn't look quite like the one I see, but hey, it's a shape. But I'm also working with a 2B pencil for this exercise. It might be a little dark for some of you. I like to have, really bold, clean lines. But you guys can see that, like, here's some of my spacing got a little wonky. This was supposed to be like a curved leaf, but you guys can kind of see my thought process. This side got a little lost, but I started out with a solid effort. So the best thing about doing these is, like, you can have that good fun laugh being like, what did I just draw? Now you get the option with the contour comparison. You still don't want to look at your page 100% because you want to capture all those lumps and bumps and movements. I'm going to step down here. I'm going to do the exact same 4 leaves. But now I have the option to kind of look at my paper a little bit more. And as much as it, you know, I know it's that kind of habit we all love to erase, just refrain. Unless it's like a big, like huge mark you accidentally made, just kind of let it live. You can make a couple multiple lines. This is all just in good practice. All right, so I'm gonna kind of finish out that. I'm gonna pick up my pencil now because I have that little bit of stem. Here's that other one that I was trying to draw, this one kind of coming towards me a little bit. Something else that'll help too is if you hold your pencil a little bit back instead of bearing down like this, it'll just free up your arm a little bit more, free up your hand. Not everything will be so tense, so if you do tend to kind of really commit to lines and you're nervous about, you know, making too many mistakes, this will help get you to loosen up a little bit more. All right, so I'm gonna kind of, there's a little stem here. I'm gonna go for my next leaf. Now this is where my blind contour got a little bit astray. I'm not hating on it. I've done a lot of blind contours and I've done a lot of ones that look absolutely like nothing you've ever seen. But, you know, with this one, I'm gonna try to get the leaves a little bit more close to like what they're actually placed like. Goals. All right, so I'm gonna do this fourth leaf here. You can see when I'm actually getting the option to like look with my eyes instead of just, you know, following blindly underneath a piece of paper, that my spacing's a little bit better. I have more closed shapes to denote actual leaves. And there we have it, right? So you can see that the idea, they're not that far apart, right? And so the more that you practice this technique, the more that you'll realize that, you know, your blind contours will get better and better each time you do it. So if your first one looks more like this, let it just live like this. This is what they're supposed to look like. You know, they're supposed to be slightly off. If you did it the first try and it looked identical, I would be very impressed and a little frightened. But, you know, blind contour versus contour. So just to kind of reiterate, you're gonna start with the blind contour always first. Helps to have that extra sheet of paper so you can kind of place your pencil, separates you from the hesitation to look at your page and just gets you to focus on whatever it is in front of you. Then when you're ready, again, about 5 minutes for each. I think I did about like 2 to 3. Then you can go for the contour version of the exact same thing that you tried to draw in the blind contour, right? So there's that demo on what blind contour is and what the blind and contour comparison drawings will look like. And I hope you found it helpful.